Another issue affecting Arizona's children tonight, one voter said should continue, is the Early Childhood Services program, First Things First. State lawmakers wanted to take that funding, $324 million, for the general fund to help balance the budget. But as you can see, voters struck down Proposition 302 by a more than 2-to-1 margin last night. KLD News 13's Selma Sias joining us live with more on that message from the ballot box. So,
well, Heather, to some people, preschool or early childhood education may not seem that critically important because you have kindergarten, you have things that basically parents can teach these kids at home. But what if these children have some sort of developmental issues? What if you don't have the money to offer any sort of specialized therapy? Well, believe it or not, there are a lot of parents in southern Arizona that find themselves in this position. There are also a lot of parents that are very supportive of First Things First.
Can't go under it.
Yes, we'll have to climb.
Yes, we'll have to climb it.
Unless you spend a lot of time at your child's preschool, you probably don't realize just how much goes into early education. These years are arguably the most important in any child's development.
The intent is really to help young children, birth to 5, be ready and healthy for kindergarten.
Precisely the intent behind First Things First, Arizona's very own program made possible by the 80-cent cigarette tax charged on every pack of cigarettes. But when Arizona started falling deeper and deeper into debt, lawmakers came up with Proposition 302 in an effort to get that money back.
The money collected from the tobacco tax, instead of going into a special fund for children 0 to 5, would go into the state's general fund.
In an overwhelming show of support for Arizona's children, voters shot down Prop 302. Great news to early education centers like Wings on Words, a preschool that could have easily lost up to 25% of their enrollment had 302 passed last night.
I already know if I hadn't gone to bed last night knowing that we voted down 302, I would have been in tears for these families.
Well, as a children's health care provider, I think all aspects of raising healthy children are important.
First Things First helps in that aspect as well, through health and dental care for at-risk kids who need it most. According to pediatric dentist Norman Bunch, about 40% of kids in Tucson 3rd grade or younger have some kind of dental decay already. First Things First is among those programs helping to change that.
And so the earlier that you try to get prevention into people's lives, the less likely they are to have problems like that.
On Wings on Words, the emphasis is helping kids with learning and speech problems, which explains, appropriately enough, the name of the preschool. They immerse children in language and conversation every day. That's what they're doing out here right now, and many of these kids simply couldn't afford to be here if it weren't for First Things First. We're live in Midtown, Selma Sias, KLD News 13, live local, late breaking.
Arizona